Amazon has released what looks to be the final trailer for the Rings of Power and putting all their cards out on the table, and none of those cards will resemble anything Tolkien wrote. This trailer shows us more of the characters and the world that Amazon's created in the Rings of Power, and none of it still resembles what Tolkien wrote. None of the characters, none of the places the characters are where they shouldn't be, and this trailer, it dives even harder into that reality. It is truly the novel Tolkien never wrote because he never would have written it, to quote J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, the showrunners. So let's take a look at this trailer and talk about all the issues that it has, because it does not resemble Tolkien. In fact, there's almost nothing in this trailer that makes it resemble what Tolkien wrote. In fact, here are the things it concentrates on. It concentrates on rewritten Galadriel, rewritten Tarmiriel. It concentrates on Arendir and Halbrand, and Disa gets a line in it. And then, of course, the Harfoots have a long 3-4 sentence monologue right there. It has Galadriel and Numenor. It has Elrond lecturing Galadriel. It concentrates on the Meteor Man. All of these things are not anything Tolkien ever wrote. Almost the entire trailer, you can't point a direct line between what Tolkien wrote and what's shown in this trailer. So let's take a quick look, because none of it shows me that they have respected his works, or, to quote them, have gone back to the books.
Go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book.
So here's Galadriel's first line in the trailer, where she talks about, her desire for revenge.
My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is now mine.
Okay, first of all, if she's talking about Finrod Felgund, her brother who was with Beren and was killed by Sauron's werewolves, this is not how it would have happened. Her whole line that she is there to avenge his death has no basis in anything Tolkien wrote. She was with Melian, the Maya, in Doriath, and didn't spend her time avenging the deaths of her brothers. She spent her time essentially trying to evade the doom of the Valar, because she took part in the kinslaying at Alqualande. So for her to be in this role of avenger is nothing that can be pointed back to what Tolkien wrote. It's just not there. And then we get the line, "Stand with me," as if she's the one who has always led all of the armies in Middle-earth. It is, again, them diving into the book that Tolkien never wrote, because Tolkien never would have written it.
Ours was no chance meeting.
That whole line of "ours was no chance meeting," and here we get the line where she says, "Not fate nor destiny, ours was the work of something greater."
Not fate, nor destiny. Ours was the work of something greater.
Right? That makes her sound like Gandalf, when Gandalf would speak of things happening with greater purpose, which is a call to the will of Iluvatar, the god of Arda, the god of Ea, the whole universe, and how he works things to happen. But her line that "not fate nor destiny, ours was the work of something greater," she is running from the doom spoken over her, and for the longest time she could not face it until the Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo offers her the ring, and she says, I passed the test. I will diminish and go into the west and remain Galadriel. And the idea that she is the driving force for everything is not supported anywhere in Tolkien's works. And in fact, here we see Halbrand now, another new character who is not supported in Tolkien's works. I wish they would have gone back and given us something to say, oh, look, this right here, this character, this point, this place, this meeting of characters, it is spoken directly by Tolkien. There is absolutely zero events like that in this trailer. There is nothing that is like, oh, this right here, this comes from what Tolkien wrote, or from what Tolkien even said in his appendices. So for them to claim that they're using the appendices is a complete farce. There are no appendices that talk about these characters, that talk about what Galadriel said, that talk about Halbrand or Arendir or Disa or Harfoots in the Second Age. It's their hubris. It's their idea that they can write something as good as Tolkien, and they're just using Middle-earth as this weird sketch pad to create something that is completely not based in what Tolkien wrote. Maybe what's most surprising is that they've decided to lean into this character of the Meteor Man, who we haven't gotten confirmation on exactly who he is yet, but certainly seems that he's in Astari, right? He's a Gandalf, Radagast, Saruman. He's one of the wizards, right? The blue, the brown, the white. The wizards that were sent in the Third Age, not the Second Age, by the Valar to help the peoples of Middle-earth fight back against Sauron, right? That's why they were sent, not in the Second Age. They are creating a world Tolkien didn't write. And for them to say that this guy right here, the Meteor Man, was there. I mean, it's either an Astari or it's something completely brand new. And we'll find out in a couple weeks, but it's not there. And when other folks tell you that, like, wow, why are you upset about this? This is Tolkien, right? Isn't this great? We're seeing Middle-earth. No, this is not Tolkien. This is not what he wrote. These are characters that weren't there and that shouldn't be there. There is a great story that Tolkien told of the Second Age with Gil-galad and with Elrond and with Celebrimbor and with Celeborn and with Galadriel in Lorien, right? And with Númenóreans and with Erendis and Aldarion and all these characters that could have gone to, but they decided not to. They decided just to lean into the one character that they thought, warrior princess, we will make her the warrior princess. And that's what we get with Galadriel. And we don't only get it with Galadriel either, we get it with Tarmiriel, the Queen Regent of Númenor, who was not the Queen Regent of Númenor. She was the daughter of the king who died and then was taken to wife by Ar-Pharazôn to usurp the throne. She was never a ruler. And to pretend that she was goes against, again, what Tolkien wrote. This is not the character Tolkien wrote. To pretend otherwise is to lie. But they do that throughout this entire trailer. I running through this here. Okay, so there's Elendil here. Hey, that's a character that we could say this is one shot that could be from Tolkien for sure. This one shot somehow, right, without a character saying anything. This could be something that harkens back to Tolkien. That's it. Okay, here we get Arondir, a new character going into some Southland tavern, and then here we get Arondir again, talking more. And so all these characters, and Galadriel apparently went to Valinor, and then there's Halbrand, and some sea serpent that, fine, I'll give them the sea serpent, but this never happened. Again, this is nothing that Tolkien wrote. They pretend, they make things up. Nothing points you back, at least with Peter Jackson's trailers, right? We got lines from the Fellowship of the Ring.
This task was appointed to you. And if you do not find a way, no one will.
We got characters. We got the storyline. We got places where characters were together appropriately, right? We didn't get the Fellowship of the Ring with a black female dwarf instead of Gimli. We got the Fellowship of the Ring. But we're getting something completely different here. They had enough to go back to where they didn't have to change things. But they decided that in their own intelligence and wisdom, they would go ahead and do it because they knew better than Tolkien. They knew better than perhaps the greatest fiction author of the 20th century. They truly believe that. And it's shown here in this trailer because nothing actually happened like this in Tolkien's writings. And then there are the hobbits. The Harfoots, because we can't say hobbits in the Second Age because those didn't exist, but the Harfoots did. They get a short little monologue here about how they are the best creatures in Middle-earth. Let's listen to that.
One thing we can do, better than any creature in all Middle-earth, we stay true to each other with our hearts, even bigger in our feet.
Oh, that's so funny. It's not only like heartfelt, but it's a comedy too. Here's the thing. Hobbits are reclusive. Hobbits are not exactly the ones that go out and discover what all the other creatures are in Middle-earth. And the whole idea that these hobbits are migratory and they go from place to place flies in the face of how Tolkien wrote them. First of all, there was no recollection of hobbits anywhere in the Second Age either. They didn't have to do this. This is nostalgia bait. This is them pushing forward into what they think people want. Not what Tolkien wrote. Stay true to what he wrote because it has already spoken to millions and millions and millions of people. Creating something brand new in this trailer, trying to push it on us and say this is Tolkien's world, is a lie. It is not true. And I'm still, disappointment doesn't quite cover it. They had an opportunity to build something great. Back in 1999 when Peter Jackson started promoting The Fellowship of the Ring and the filming was going to start and all the hires were being made, and there was so much skepticism then, but he was always pointing out at how true they were trying to stay to Tolkien. And the first trailers made that clear. Here, all these trailers, when they talk about Galadriel, Tarmiriel, Arendir, Halbrand, Disa, Harfoots, Galadriel Numenor, Elrond lecturing Galadriel, the Meteor Man, these speeches by Harfoots that have no place in Middle-earth, they're making something up. And here's the kicker. I feel like this could be a really interesting story if it wasn't set in Tolkien's world. They are creating something totally new, something that is completely without a foundation in Tolkien's world, other than the names. The interactions of these characters, Tarmiriel and Galadriel, didn't happen. Elrond telling Galadriel not to fight didn't happen. Harfoots talking to each other didn't happen. The Meteor Man, he didn't happen. Or Isildur talking to Galadriel didn't happen. All these things that just didn't happen, they're making it up. And this last trailer confirms that. There is nothing here that a dyed-in-the-wool, longtime Tolkien reader like myself can point to and say, oh, the line from Tolkien is drawn straight to what is shown or said here in this trailer. It's just not there. And to claim otherwise is completely a lie. I'm still going to watch the show. I'm still going to, give you my thoughts on it. I'll approach it two ways, I think. One, as if it weren't Tolkien, and two, as if it were Tolkien. And I will probably have two completely separate reactions. Because if this was something brand new, it doesn't look bad. But to claim it's Tolkien is a complete farce. So those are my thoughts. Is there anything here that's Tolkien? Is there anything in this trailer that says, hey, you missed this, Jonathan? Tolkien is represented here in this part of the trailer. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Well, occasionally, once or twice a year, it happens. But yeah, let me know your comments. I'll respond below. And subscribe, share, right? I would let people know that this isn't Tolkien. Don't let those people who haven't read The Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales or even read the appendices to Return of the King, right? This is not what Tolkien wrote. So subscribe, and share, and let people know that there is something better that is what Tolkien wrote that's out there. Thanks.